Hello, everybody. Welcome to the story meet for Toasty Ashes of Dusk. I am Duper, and I am joined here by Ivy and Art Blaster.
Heyo.
Howdy.
And today we're going to talk about, spoiler alert, Toasty Ashes of Dusk.
Really?
Yeah. Big surprise there. We're going to talk about Toasty.
Wow, Toasty, huh?
Toasty. I know you're sick of it, but we're going to talk about it some more.
Give it up for day 15.
This entire story meet's going to be about Gretch.
Yeah. So, who said his head looks like a Dorito?
Me? I did.
You're like, who's that Dorito head guy you drew? I like that guy.
That's why I wrote local potato chip headed resident just happy to be here.
You should have said corn chip.
Oh, I should have. Okay, changing it now.
Because that's wrong. It's not potato.
Okay.
It's like a Dorito.
Begin with. I can't
Yeah.
say Dorito. We'll get
Okay.
sued.
We already said Dorito several times.
Oh no.
Here comes the
We're
suing.
already effed up the A.
We're gonna have to censor it. Make sure to censor out Dorito. Gosh, people would not know. They would try and piece it together. Like, what swear are they saying?
Yeah.
Bleep headed something? Like,
What if we just we just bleep it and then flash a bag of Doritos on the screen every time it happens?
with duct tape covering Doritos. With like parentheses saying redacted.
You just use a different noise. We'll just make it a bag crunchings.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay, so we skipped the Wizard's Tower last time because we were talking about we went to the Waste. We talked about the ghost ship for a little bit. We went to the Waste and we kind of went off to Mount Ash and whatever, but we didn't talk about the Wizard's Isle.
Yep. So Wizard's Isle is
Yeah.
the destination that Marshall is heading to when he's on the ghost ship.
Oh.
And I think one of the reasons we didn't really get too in depth with discussing the Tower of Wizards is that it's very story heavy. It's very story driven. We were trying to be careful about spoilers because it's like there's kind of a big reveal in that part of the game.
Yeah. So
It's essentially the halfway point.
right. Oh, I was thinking we could talk about the style and some of the unspoilery stuff related to it, maybe.
Hell no. All
Okay.
right. So
Maybe the catacombs too.
no, well, yeah. So kind of I am getting this idea, and I'm sure I wrote it down somewhere. This is like the constant thing we deal with where we come up with the story like over and over again. We're like, oh, we should look at the documents because we're probably
It's, like,
saying the same
different.
thing again.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the idea that it has an abandoned feeling when you go into it. Like,
Yeah.
almost like you can see it's a very stormy island, and then you go into the interior of the tower and you see like the lightning flashing on the walls and stuff. And then I don't know if we should reveal this, but it has to do with kind of like, I mean, everyone knows there's like memories and flashbacks in this game. So that plays a role in this setting where you may get to see that environment at a different point in time.
Right. So the setting in the Wizard's Isle. Did we want to go by Wizard's Isle or is it Dark Moon Isle? I was confused.
I called it Dark Moon Isle
I'm cool with that.
because Wizard's Isle was kind of like the placeholder name that we kind of like when we were like, oh, Pier Town, and then now it's
I like
Dark
Dark
Town,
Moon.
but
Yeah.
Sure.
yeah, Dark Moon Isle.
We'll just call
It's
it
so
that.
edgy.
It is the epitome of edge. We're capturing Shadow the Hedgehog with this island.
It's like Edgelord Island,
Yeah, totally.
and Dupes lives there.
No, it doesn't. So like the interior of Dark Moon Isle, the wizard's building. Did we were we gonna go for like a stone brick, like worn, like maybe it was like some sort of like fancy medieval-esque library or something which has been ravaged by time?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be run down, and like I said, there's going to be that parallel element of like, oh, you see it when it wasn't super crappy, and then like you see it when it is crappy. And I think Brian actually created that mock-up of it for the trailer.
Yeah, I did, but that one's probably a
Um,
little too clean. Probably make it a little dustier.
Yeah, especially the interior and stuff.
Maybe even have like vines growing on it too.
Yeah.
I would like to put like some, like corroded parts that fall apart, like interactive elements where you can like, oh, there's this crumbling wall thing and you could hit it and it explodes, and then don't walk on the cracked tiles or you'll fall through them.
That'd be
that kind
really
of
fun.
thing.
Yeah, I like that. Maybe like different floors. Like I think a really good reference. Both of you haven't played it. Is the castle in Mother 3. It's an old tower.
Yeah, I haven't played Mother 3 yet. I've only played the first two.
It's an old castle, and there's ghosties around and stuff. You can fall on the
Mhm.
floor and go to like the floor below it and stuff.
Yeah, I have to play that. One of the kind of feelings that would be interesting to evoke is like in Super Metroid when you show up in the beginning of the game, it's very abandoned and kind of eerie and stormy and stuff. I
Yeah.
like that idea, kind of evoking that atmosphere. Something
Yeah, I
like
could
that.
definitely see that being how it is when you first arrive on the island after leaving the. My question about this is,
Right.
is the tower gonna be like a full-on dungeon, or is it gonna be kind of like just an area you explore, and then the catacombs are a dungeon? Because we just left. At this point, you just leave the ghost ship.
Yeah.
hmm No,
So-
it's more exploration and like
Yeah.
it's more story driven.
Yeah. This is
Like
where
I
you
was
can
saying,
get answers.
like I was saying, how there's lost my train of thought. How there's I
You're
don't
talking
know.
about how there's instances where you'll see the tower in the past and stuff, and
Right, but like how there's like right, like there's memories and stuff, and it's story driven. There's more story elements, so you kind of explore. Um, maybe it'll have more of a feel of like a point and click adventure rather than a full on like Zelda dungeon.
yeah, I could see it as like kind of being like you said, it's kind of like more like an exploratory, horrible area, and there's not so much combat. It's just more kind of like you're finding about clues, and like you said, it's very story driven, and there's not really going to be much of NPCs, if any, and it's I don't know, it's going to be kind of like environmental storytelling.
Yeah. And I definitely think that's an interesting element to put in to like the overall toast, because there's like we're really big on variety, incorporating a variety of different types of gameplay and stuff. That's like our goal, to like break the mold on this design.
Right.
So kind of like more, I don't want to say puzzles and stuff, like how like a dungeon, but like there could be some environmental puzzles.
Oh yeah, like you're talking about the tower, right?
Yeah.
Imagine like obviously, come on, if it's like bookcases and shit, there's got to be some secret entrance. Come on,
Right. Stuff
there's
like
got to be
that.
some stuff.
Oh yeah, I could totally see
Um,
that being like more
A
like
lot
an
of
adventure
story
puzzle
stuff
game
unfolding.
at that point. Not really.
Like maybe like getting around, like pushing stuff. It's like do we want to have some some mobs in the tower, or is it kind of just for the most part like fat
you
bats?
know, yeah. I don't think it should be. There should be less enemies, if any, at all in the tower. Um, or maybe we can, playing on that Super Metroid style storytelling a little bit more. We can have it like after you go to that, after you make that discovery,
Yeah,
in the tower, then like the enemies awaken,
Oh, that'd be
kind
kind
of.
of fun.
yeah. Oh gosh, we want to do the Wind Waker redeads that we talked about before.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's Gilly.
No, we're gonna do the what is it? The fungi, the one that's like that has the big claws. And there's like only two in the whole game. We could put one in the tower.
No, that's terrifying. Why would you do that?
I think we have to do that. That's awesome.
No. But a lot of story definitely unfolds in this area. Yeah, pretty excited about that.
I do think we were like having different puzzles and stuff to kind of get past to get through the tower would be really, or like, at least to find secret passages and stuff, because like I feel like it could be on in the forefront. The tower just looks like a normal tower, but to find like the more story driven part, you have to like find a secret passage or something. So I could see us having like different, I don't know, almost like combination puzzles, or like switch puzzles, or I don't know, just really interesting logic stuff.
Yeah. Have you guys played, since we're talking like, since I mentioned point and click adventures and stuff, have you played Journeyman Project Turbo?
Nope.
I think I sent it to one of you and I was like, watch this, and then you probably didn't.
I don't know.
But it's like a point and click adventure. I don't know. I'm thinking we could somehow convey, story elements and like action, but not through combat.
Right. I think that would be important.
Have you played Trace Memory? Do you know what it is?
Nope.
It's a point and click adventure for the DS. It kind of has the same vibe, where it's like you explore in all these creepy environments and stuff, and do some puzzles, do some Puzz 3D, and Doritos 3D. Shout out to Doritos.
I have to bleep out. So, okay, I guess the thing is, like, after you get to the point in the tower when you've gotten to the goal, you figure out the big secret that we're not going to talk about. The big one. How are we going to make it so that you have to leave through the catacombs?
I didn't think that far ahead. Quick, shut the stream down.
We gotta go. We gotta shut it down.
No. Quick. You know what would be cool? What if the tower just like
I was
sinks?
gonna say,
What
because
if it
like,
just crumbles?
what if we have it where like after you activate the thing and you get the secret and everything,
Yeah.
like it has an effect on the structure of the building, and everything just starts like
I love that
collapsing.
idea.
And then like we could even have it where a cutscene shows that the tower is collapsing and you're in it, like whatever. But
Yeah.
then like you wake up barely alive or something. I don't know. Like he just was like passed out on the bottom floor of the tower, and there's just like ruins around him, and then there's like a stairwell down into the catacomb.
Yeah, that could be good.
Which, we didn't really describe what the kind of vibe or look of the catacombs or like what you do there really.
We're doing it live.
Yep. But it's the bridge between it's like an underground tunnel that goes from Dark Moon Isle to the Waste, which is the big old desert, big old honkin' desert.
Big ol' honker.
Yeah, big old honkin' goose of a desert.
Yeah.
And so I originally, like, what if parts of it were flooded or something?
What, the desert?
No, the underground.
That would
tunnel.
make sense
like,
because it kind of goes under the ocean a bit.
Oh, yeah. But the catacombs?
The catacombs.
Yes, the catacombs.
Oh, yeah. That makes a lot of sense. I mean,
Is everything made out of marshmallows like the real catacombs is made out of skulls and crap?
Well, Marshall's the only marshmallow. There's just not like.
Makes sense already. But so Say wants you to say omelet on this.
What?
Say wants you to say omelet. I guess they really like your voice and they want to hear you say it.
Should I? All right, omelet, or should I be like
Omelette.
Omelette. Omelette du fromage.
Yes, omelette du fromage. So, yeah, I think I like that idea. Like, what if we made it flooded partially, and it has something to do with? I'm thinking like making bridges out of wreckage or
Yeah,
something?
we could make it so like the puzzles revolve around like getting over gaps of water, and we could have like, I'm just picturing visually like we could have it so like water's leaking from the cracks in the wall and stuff, and it'd be really interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that would be rad. I think we should have some creepy moments in there. Have some creptastic. I mean, you don't like the marshmallow skull idea.
It's weird enough that it would be fine. I just didn't understand why there'd be other marshmallows.
Or what if it's just skulls, okay?
I mean, yeah, sure, let's make it creepy. If it's a catacomb, let's make it creepy.
Yeah. Or, like, what would be interesting? Making it, like, just a wall of Geldian knight helmets.
Ooh. Yeah.
And it's like, oh crap, here's the grave of the Geldians.
That would be kind of cool.
We can even call it that instead of the catacombs.
Oh yeah, that would be great. I love how we just come up with new names for these areas on these calls.
Yeah, and then we just like plug it in.
We're like, that's the new name, that's it.
All right.
Doing it live.
Oh, exactly. This is it
I do
right
like
here.
the Grave of
What we do
Geldians
is
though. It's a good name.
Yeah.
Bunch of helmets.
Yeah, it would be cool seeing them like, on the walls are just made up of stacked helmets. And then we could be really creepy, like they could be like glowing, like
Ooh,
eyes
yeah.
in the helmet
Could have,
or
like,
something.
Yeah, definitely. And maybe we could have more of the zombie knights in that area.
Uh-huh. That's a good idea. Night bucket.
Are you writing this down? Awesome.
On a notepad. With a P.
I'm writing it on. Listen, I'm not some kind of plebeian. I'm writing this on Word.
Plebeian. I'm using a
I'm not
keyboard.
some kind of Well, I meant Notepad, the program, but sure.
Well, he said with a pen, so I was like...
Oh, I thought you said Notepad.
He did. He said a notepad with a P in.
Oh. With a peen. Alright, let's see. So Grave of the Geldians is now what the Catacombs is called. night bucket helmets stacked as
You should have one of
walls.
those giant creepy mushroom guys
Sometimes-
in the catacomb.
Yes, giant creepy mushroom guy is down there with you.
And
There we
he's
go.
stuck in there with you.
And he hates you. Alright. Let me also write in that the tower sinks after the big event. I'm sure I'll know what I'm talking about later when I look at that.
I hope so. You're gonna be reading and be like, what the heck?
Yeah, all my notes. We're gonna look at my notes later, and it's gonna be like, we to put the thing with the thing, and then
You don't have to be
Marshall
vague
does
with your
some
notes.
stuff.
You could write down what it actually is, because you're not saying it out loud.
Oh man.
But I mean, I guess you are saying it out loud while you're writing it, so maybe don't say it out loud.
It's okay. We're committing this to both audio and writing, so it's all
Yeah, when
good.
we forget what we have to
Yeah.
say, we're gonna have to go back and watch and do
Yeah.
what we call a marathon of just watching ourselves talk.
Oh, great. That's going to be so fun.
So there's gonna be this situation where we're like, well, we lost all of our writing files, all of our documents, but we
And
still have all the videos.
Yeah, time to go through 10 hours of
Who wants to
audio.
transcribe them.
Yikes.
We'll farm it out. We'll pay people to do it.
We'll pay people to do it. We're gonna pay you money to listen to us talk for hours on end.
Yeah. So what's next, Justin?
Well, I mean, right after that, we
We're
get
getting suspiciously quiet.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. My mind is like all over the place right now. So right after the catacombs, we
okay.
enter the what?
Said it's okay.
Right after the catacombs and we hit the waste, we already talked about the waste. We did we hit the waste. Did we want to discuss the like lore behind Geldia? Like where
Pre-Geldian lore?
yeah, like did we want to like explore any of that a little bit? Because we talked about that before.
Do you mean in the time of the Knights, or like, oh, crud, this is before the Knights, it's all mystical?
Yeah,
crap.
like the time of the Knights and the everything before Geldia and the king and whatnot. Because I think like we've hit like all the areas. Wait, actually, hold on. I actually have a question. Where are we gonna put the in your doc? You drew the concept art of that one robot thingy. Where's that at? You know, like the half submerged one, like Never Ending Story.
Oh, you mean like it's like on the north of the map, where it's like a robot sticking out of the ground? Is
Yeah, that's
that
the one. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the one. I was just looking at it.
So you think we should like work that into the lore somehow?
Maybe. I mean, like, were they fighting off kaijus or something?
Oh yeah, giant marshmallows. We could do. I'm trying to think because, you know, there's the Juggernaut, which is like the huge, boxy, destructing thing.
So they used to fight
Welcome back.
kaijus in early Geldia times?
Yeah, sure. I mean, like I was saying, like, I don't know, because that's just like a weird, different kind of robot. It's not like the boxy Juggernaut thing, design thing.
Yeah.
It could be like, oh man, it's from a time before the Knights, and people made these big wooden robots, and they powered them with this cool marshmallow core.
Marshmallow core.
Yeah, they put it into the reactor, into the and you pilot them, and then you go in, and then there's marshmallows in the robot. I don't know. Maybe it's like I'm trying to like I don't know. I have no clue. Honestly, I just drew a robot on the map.
I was gonna say, did you guys have like world lore written out before the prequel and everything?
So that's what we kind of build it off of in the comic. We kind of built the lore off of that. What the concept are right now.
I was just wondering because if like you guys had written out stuff before I started on the project.
So what you're saying is, does Toasty need a creation myth?
No, it doesn't.
I think it's better if it doesn't.
Well, I'd rather not want to explain why this robot is like this.
I mean, Adventure Time was like, oh, it's after World War III and everything's crazy.
I sent it in stream chat. You can see it, a little tiny little robot dude just kind of chilling out right there. By the way, what's in that robot? Is it Carmelo?
Maybe. Probably candy bars. We'll never know.
I don't think I've ever seen that robot.
How dare you? You never looked at the map.
I mean, I probably did, but I might have forgotten.
Like... Yeah. It's like
it's so dense.
It's oh no. It's like following up that water path leads up to that area where he is. Yeah. But you get to that area because it's north of where the castle is. Oh, right. So I'm looking at the map right now. What's in the big building in Docktown?
Like
yeah, the town hall. Like, what's in there? Who's in there? What are they doing?
Probably corrupt bureaucrats, I would imagine.
They're discussing the town festival and the moon falling.
Oh yeah, you gotta have that. I think, yeah, wasn't it the mayor's office or residence or something? You're going.
Yeah, you mentioned like, that there was gonna be a mayor in Stocktown, but I don't think we ever really decided to. I'm at a loss for words. I don't think we decided to like expand upon that because we already had like the one mayor in Shroomville, and I don't think we were sure if we wanted to have like another.
That's okay. I'm gonna open up the Masspedia and shame us all. So.
More world map. Okay, so the mudfish dudes.
The mud skippers.
The mud skippers, because in the map it's like south to the castle remains.
Yeah, they're a group of the mud skippers that want to be knights, and then Marshall has to train them.
Yeah,
because they're really bad at being knights.
Well, I mean, they can't really hold a sword and shield very well.
There's also that other character we had, the girl
wearing
Gildian armor.
Oh yeah, I love her. I want to know where we're gonna fit her in.
I mean, she could be like instructing them or something.
Training these mud skippers on how to defend themselves.
Didn't we have it like her backstory is she like admired Marshall or
the
Ash
knights,
or somebody?
Admired like the knights, but obviously Ash, because Ash was like, the one, the big boy.
The big boy.
The big one, like the white Power Ranger of the Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Man, it's so difficult to talk about these areas without getting spoilers. There's so much spoiler.
In times like these, you have to go off on tangents.
That's true.
So, yeah, a lot of the things, like I said in our previous discussions, like a lot of the map stuff that I was working on, was influenced by Link's Awakening and Link's Awakening.
You said you also got influenced by Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon Red and Blue. That's like a huge influence. That was like really one of the first games I remember as a kid, like exploring like a huge map and feeling like it was like had some semblance to real life. Like, oh, I wonder what's over there. Like when you're exploring,
Right.
like you don't know that element of surprise. I like that idea.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things like I try to be mindful of when I'm designing the map, where it's like, oh, and I'm also thinking about like the constraints of like the screen size and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm thinking like, all right, if you get to the bottom of this screen, you're gonna see the edge of this thing in the corner, and it'll be like, oh, what's that? And it'll be like, kind of exciting to discover something new and tell the story that way.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of, I'm trying to be mindful of like visual stuff.
I don't know how you're figuring that out. Like that's crazy to me because it's like how like you're basically kind of making visual points of interest that are always going to be like within range of like one thing or another.
Yeah.
Right.
It's so dense. There's so much going on.
I tried to, not pack the screen with stuff, but
Right.
also there's always something, interesting or that you should be exploring on each screen, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like a lot of it, I'm just, drawing, so I just feel it out really. I sketch it out first and then I do the final lines and everything. But I don't know how you're supposed to go about making game maps and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I just do it by kind of like studying maps.
Yeah, you use Pokemon Blue and Red as a prime example.
Yeah, there were sections of Red and Blue that I used, that I looked at for inspiration. Link's Awakening definitely, to get like the feel of like, just the kind of the visual language, like how things should look. Like, oh, rocks are kind of square looking, they fit together like this on the map. The cliffs are a huge inspiration from what do you call it? Link's Awakening. Not Link's Awakening. Yeah, Link's Awakening. I was like, wait, Pokemon?
What do you call it?
Link's
Link's Awakening. No, not Link's Awakening. Yeah, Link's Awakening.
No, not that one. No. Yeah, the different, that kind of plateau elevation, how they create mountains and stuff in Link's Awakening, I'm like a huge fan
I
of
like that too.
So
Tall Heights.
yeah, so there's a lot of that in Toasty.
Yeah.
I just love the visual design with those games. It's very homey. It gives me the warm fuzzies.
Yeah. And there's a lot going on, like in each camera shot, each square. There's always something.
So, Justin, how has the story changed since you first envisioned it?
So the original vision of Toasty was just it was just a marshmallow night. It was so bare bones. I mean, the same like bare skeleton of that story is still in Toasty now. Like, save everybody, befriend all these crazy inhabitants, but there wasn't like a lot of meat and stuff, like I had funny interactions between different characters. I had an idea of a corrupt king kind of like taking advantage of all the citizens, which was kind of reflected in the prequel comic, which was cool. But like you ultimately had to like stop this evil king who was being manipulated by a dark evil, kind of like Link to the Past a little bit, except for it was like wizard and stuff. And then and then eventually like fight like what this entity was, but there wasn't really a whole lot of story that that is in Toasty now. Stuff that like I would.
I
love
remember when you first started talking to me about it. You had this idea of like having this. I think you said there was like a giant tree or like a village with like a tree nearby, and like underground there was like a dark thing growing.
Yeah, but like a little bit of that was kind of inspiration for our current game.
Yeah, I could definitely see where like things kind of evolved to where they're at now.
Yeah. Like I had we have Wilson Orbeck, which is awesome now, but I had like a reoccurring character who'd show up who was eventually evolved into our pigeon guard character that we're gonna be doing.
Yeah.
But this pigeon was like supposed to bring Marshall in for like questioning and whatever, and you gotta like fight him, and then you beat him up and stuff. And every time you beat him, he like, well, I mean, like when you first fight him, he says that I think he has like a plastic hat or something, or no, he's wearing like a plastic bucket on his head. And he says like if he can be like take you in for questioning, he'll be upgraded to tinfoil. Which is like a higher rank, I guess. It's just a joke or whatever, and you beat him.
Yeah.
And then when you encounter him again, he has a cardboard box on his head because he got demoted.
Awesome.
Like dumb little shenanigans like that. Then there's like there was an option where well, you can talk to Oscar, and well, Oscar was always there, and Oscar was just like, oh, you want to get out? Well, you got to talk to Greg the Turnip. Remember that, Brian? Yeah, you gotta talk to Greg the Turnip if you want to leave. He has control over the bridge and stuff, and he's just like, I hate that guy. I hate him so much. Like you'll see what I'm talking about when you talk to him. And you talk to Greg, and he's like overly nice to you, and he's just really cool, and like drops the bridge. He's like, hey, let me know if there's anything else you need. And then Oscar's just like, see what I mean?
For the longest time, I thought Greg was based on one of your friends, and then you told me what.
He was just a happy turnip. And then if you run into the pigeon guy outside of Shroomville at the time, he'll be like, have you seen, like, I'm looking for this person, which is, it's clearly you, whatever. You have the option to tell him that it's Greg the Turnip in town. So then he'll run in, and then like you'll see him like drag off Greg the Turnip. And later on, when you're in the castle, you'll find him like in the dungeon, and he's in the dungeon, but he's like still really happy.
Yeah.
He was like, well, this is an unfortunate event. Well,
I feel like we should still include this.
This is incredibly unfortunate, but he's just super positive. Like things are just gonna work out for him in the end. But Oscar just cannot stand him. But that was like a running thing. And then like the dialogue originally, like when Oscar finds you in the forest, he makes like a joke about, he's like, "Where are you from?" Like your options were like Smorth, Dakota, and shit. I was just being stupid puns. He's like, "What the heck is that?"
Yeah, we can still do that.
I love that idea of Greg Turnip.
I'm not gonna get off that subject.
I'm not feeling it. You know what? Not feeling it.
No, I totally thought that he was based on somebody you knew.
Oh, Tanny, you just got here and you thought you broke it. Yeah, it was all your fault. Don't let me stop you guys.
Don't let me stop.
I didn't have anything else to say.
Yeah, so Greg the Turnip's getting his own spin-off. He's getting his own side quest. He's getting his own products. We're gonna have the turnip hat. We're gonna have turnip
plushies, turnip t-shirts. He's gonna have his own movie.
He's so lovable.
I want to talk about enemies a little bit. We got some time left.
Yeah.
We right now have the glublet, and glub and the mushroom zombies.
Yeah.
In the first area. Oh, and the fat bats.
Yep.
Are we? And then I'm trying to think. How are we expanding beyond that? Like, are we gonna have more enemy types as we go on, or are there enemies that we're gonna reuse like throughout the game?
I think there will definitely be enemies that are like global enemies, where they are more, where it's like, oh, there's Glub Lord, and then you go to the wastes, and then there's the Sand Glub or something. It's just a recall.
Oh yeah, I could see like there being a
Um,
sand monster that's basically like the glub.
Yeah. But we can have ones like that, but I would also like to have enemies that are very context dependent, where it's like, oh, you're inside the Juggernaut and parts of the machinery come off the walls and they're like spiders or
Yeah.
something. And they're only found in that area of the
Yeah, I
game.
want that for sure. That's kind of the idea I had of that one robot that I drew that was like that platform. And like I
Right.
feel like that would be really cool to have in a more mechanical area like the Juggernaut or whatever, and like it's not really aggressive, but it would help you
Right.
like cross paths or cross areas like that were hazardous, and you could like stand on it. So basically it's like a moving platform that's kind of like an enemy but not really.
Right. Yeah, I like that idea where it's like context dependent in a way, where it's like depending on like, for example, yeah, like you go to Everest City and it's like, oh, the streetlight, it's alive and gonna kill
Yeah.
you.
Oh, speaking of those streetlight mobster dudes, should we have them like just standing around like regular NPCs, or should we actually have them like as part of the environment? Like they look like streetlights, and
yeah.
then they just kind of come off the poles and attack you.
I mean, yeah, we could do that, but then like
Yeah.
we'd also have to be kind of fair with the stoplight placement, you know? Like I like
Yeah.
the, I also like the idea of like a bunch of them kind of running at you when you're like in a dark alley.
Yeah. I like
Get this
that
guy,
idea
he's dropping
too.
pop.
He's dropping pop. Get him.
Hey there, kid, you want some pop?
So lollipops is drugs. in
Don't
the
tell him,
Toasty
it's a
universe.
secret.
No, that's not a secret. We've talked about it before.
I know.
Also, this podcast is now rated NC-17.
Oh no.
Sandy's like, what the fuck? So it's a running joke because, okay, before Wilhelm had a cigarette, and we decided that we weren't going to have drugs in the game because it really kind of messes with the rating for the game. So we're like, well, let's just replace it with a lollipop. And then we were like, what if lollipops are still like drugs in the game, like in that universe? And like,
They treat it
yeah,
like
and then
poisons.
we were talking about how in the one scene where you're in this courthouse, you could have Blister like pull out a lollipop in the middle of the courthouse, and they're like, "Hey, you can't do that in here. He's dropping pop."
Everyone just gasps.
I love it. It's so stupid. I love it.
No, it's amazing, honestly. But yeah, for enemy design, I like that idea where it's like, like when you're in the wastes or something, there could be like, we can make like, the judge, he's just a giant garbage pile. What if we had like smaller? You can make even. We were talking about different versions of the Glub Lords. You can make like
Oh, we could make a garbage
or
glub.
something.
Or an
Sand
ice
glub,
cream
garbage
glove.
glove. We got them all.
An ice cream glove in Pudge's Pizza,
Yes,
broken down
please.
refrigerator
I
cavern.
live for the ice cream glove.
You could just have like a ice cream like cone sticking out of it.
I love it. I want that to be real.
We could do that. Yeah, we'll make it look like ice cream, and then instead of like the spikes on its head, it will just have one big ice cream cone.
Big dumb cone. That's perfect. That's like when you're in the ice cavern?
The ice cavern, yeah, the refrigerator, yeah.
Yeah.
I love how you go. They're
just
like,
like-
oh, the ice dungeon, the ice cavern. It's like, oh yeah, the refrigerator.
Yeah. There should be like, oh, there's an ice cavern in Everest City. Oh my god. You gotta go there. It's so, there's this mystical item in there. And then you finally get there and it's like, Pudge is like, what? there's no ice cavern, and it's like, I don't know how you would find out it's his fridge unless he's just like, yeah, it's my fridge. People call it.
We'll have to come up with some clever way to introduce that like side dungeon.
Oh, the frozen broken down fridge.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Oh yeah, we could totally do something about that. I don't know. I gotta like mull it over.
Can we make?
Why would I need to climb into my own fridge? Ghostbusters.
I mean, we could just have it so that
It's
Pudge needs
more-
help getting something out of the fridge for some ingredients, and then you get locked in there.
That's horrible.
It's like stuck.
The door
It's, like,
closes
stuck
behind you, and you're like,
closed,
"Hey, let me out!" And then
yeah, trying to get.
and then like you notice like the back wall actually has like a hole in it, and you can get in there, and it's just like a whole cave.
Yep.
There we go. We figured it out.
That's it. It's done. I don't. Did we even talk about what is going to happen in that part of the game in the ice cavern?
No, so that was just an idea because we were talking about having the sliding around icy thing. So it's like, well, we gotta have an ice cavern or something. It's just like, well, we gotta come up with some clever way to go about it because it's like, oh, it's a big old patch of ice or, icicles or something. It's like, well, what's something that hasn't been done before? And we're like, broken refrigerator and Pudge's Pizza, and we're like, oh, because we were gonna make that pizza dungeon, but then we're like, ice cavern.
What if like someone orders ice cream and then like he can't reach it, so you have to like climb into the back of the fridge?
What kind of fridge are you imagining?
I was imagining like one of those 2-door like freezer on the top deals.
Oh, you said climb into the back of that. You know what the back of one of those looks like?
No. I think I do.
It's like flat steel.
Oh, see, I was picturing it like
Like
a restaurant kitchen freezer where it's like a big,
a
big vault door looking freezer.
No, I imagine like just this refrigerator that kind of has like glowing multicolored lights coming out of like the cracks on the door and stuff, and you're trying to open it, but it won't. And it's like try more force to open it, and then it just like flings it open, and then Marshall gets sucked in, and it closes behind him.
I like the idea that.
And Rowan's just like, how the fuck do you do this?
I just like the idea that it's like a really stupid reason why Marshall goes in. Like, there's like another customer at the counter ordering ice cream, and then Pudge is like, who orders ice cream at a pizza place? And they're like, and then he says like something about like, oh, last time I tried going in the freezer, I got locked in. Could you do it for me? And then you end up doing it, and you get locked in. And then you fight the ice cream glove and bring ice cream.
I love that. That's so good. Yeah, we should make it something stupid. Like he just like gets sucked in like a normal refrigerator, and yeah.
I just like that idea where it's like Pudge doesn't want to do it, so he makes
yeah, I don't want to go get that. Will you go get it for me? I hope the ice cream's not expired.
Yeah. And then after you get it for the person, they're just like, I don't like it.
Like you go through the whole dungeon, and then you go get it for them, and then you bring it out, and you're like, oh, this is disgusting.
Yeah.
That is perfect.
It is kind of gross, because like, it's
right.
Club. Like so when you defeat the glove, there should be just like a hovering ice cream on a cone, and that's what you bring back. But like, I'm just, we could put it in the trading sequence.
Why don't we just make it so you pull the ice cream off of the glove's head with like a chunk of it?
Oh.
Yeah, really gross.
Oh.
Can it be like vanilla ice cream with rainbow sprinkles in it?
I guess. I'm trying to think of how I will draw it. Like, from a animating standpoint.
Oh, so much thought went into the refrigerator sequence.
Their favorite dungeon.
It's like literally the thing we've given the least thought in this game.
The ice cream needs to have a face and be crying.
No.
Oh, when you get it, it should be called, the item is called ice cream remains.
The remains.
You're just getting really dark with the ice cream. Great.
Yeah, well, I was thinking of like Majora's Mask when you get the different boss masks. It's like they
Oh, yeah,
call them
the remains. Bow, now, now, bow,
Oh,
now,
yeah,
now,
yeah,
now.
You got the ice cream remains.
Hey, it's time.
You got something. Yeah, let's wrap her up.
Time to wrap
So-
it up.
Everybody, thank you for hanging out with us in this amazing story dev meet panel thingy for Toasty Ashes of Dusk. We only crashed, what,
Four
three
times.
Three times?
Time.
Four
Four.
times! A new record. Let's break it next time. My name is Duper, and I've been joined here by the always amazing Ivy and Archblaster.
Yay.
Yay.
Yay. So we will catch you all on the flip side.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks for
Bye.
watching. Hanging out.